How are you doing today, my lazies? We've broken down the conflicts with the DCEU. Now, let's focus on solutions. I'll go over how this verse can be salvaged and how it can be changed into something completely different while following and not following the original Snyder formula. Let's dive in. Now, the main issue with the Snyder vision was that he didn't actually understand or fully read the comics he was using as a basis. He wanted to create the Injustice verse by using the Dark Knight series as a blueprint for the characters. But I would have done something completely different altogether. Shameless plug, but I already have a fan-written DC live-action storyline that I'm writing. So check that out in the description if you want to see my vision for that. Fix the universe that was already created, I would let the Injustice timeline play out, then flashpoint it at the end to restart it, and it would have worked fine and given the writers the time needed to fix the major issues with the built universe like Snyder was originally trying to do, as far as I understand. The actors and actresses were beautifully cast, but I would have personally cast Jason as Lobo, Ezra as Wally, and Jesse as Riddler. Everyone else was in the correct casting. Moving Cyborg to the Titans initiative would have been a much better vision to include him into the main story. If I was to write the universe from scratch, I would focus on developing the individual main characters in their storylines, then connect them for the Justice League later. We can even keep everything non-connected and make the Justice League movies completely separate from the individual movies, and it will still work perfectly. They were trying to be anti-Marvel, so this formula would have worked with their vision while creating a completely new writing style. Imagine two separate timelines that almost seem connected playing out and creating a multiverse effect. That would have been an epic way to showcase their creativity. They could have even added different actors for the Justice League movies completely so it adds to the effect. That would have been a gamble they could have worked with, and then switch the actors for the next phase to create a connection. The amount of storylines that could have manifested would have been epic. They could have done an Injustice story, Justice Lord story, Flashpoint story, and everything in between to set up for a Crisis on Infinite Earths timeline. The epicness of that working out would have broken the internet. Since they wanted to be as different from Marvel as possible, they could have followed the Arrowverse formula and just improved it. They also could have taken inspiration from the Justice League cartoons to make better storylines and villains. The most creative thing that could be done, as it's shown to at least be possible to work well, is instead of doing hero movies, just do villain movies and connect those with Justice League crossovers. Imagine seeing the villain perspective first, then tying in everything with a grand hero crossover. They also could have gone the Young Justice or Teen Titans route and started with the sidekick stories to build the sidekick teams, then gradually introduce the Justice League through them. There are so many creative ways to one-up the Marvel MCU formula while creating their own avenues completely. Let me know your thoughts about my solutions and any that you can think of. I love to see the theories. Also check out my DC live action story on Archive of Our Own. I'll leave the link in the description. I'll expand this series to a more targeted solution based on the individual movies as well, so we can get some theories on how to fix the movies that were already created. Like, share, subscribe, and until next time, stay lazy.